A lot of people may think that Trump himself might be a cause of a lot of things, good or bad. But the basic point I want to make here is that Trump cannot be described as a cause for future policies that we might see emerge in America and impacting the rest of the world. Essentially, he's looking at a completely different economic policy framework than what had been practiced by successive U.S. presidents before him, and you could sort of broadly break it down to two or three big policy shifts. One, of course, is Trump doesn't believe in further globalization of the American economy. So one trend is that he vigorously argued against trade deals that America had negotiated or was in the process of negotiating. So he was highly critical of NAFTA, America's free trade agreements with the Latin American, Mexico and other Latin American countries, and severely critical of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which had been concluded and ratified, which was again at the initiative of the Obama administration. And of course, Trump he's also very anti-immigration. He feels that American jobs have been taken away by China, by India, by Mexico. So those were also the issues. I would propose that he represents actually the manifestation of a lot of deeper trends which were already happening, which had taken roots in the global economy. Now, a de-globalization trend which is now entrenched. This entrenchment of de-globalization actually began from 2008, after the global financial meltdown crisis. Just imagine, 16% of global GDP was the total world investment flows in 2008, before the meltdown, and today it is 1.6% of global GDP. So there is a collapse of global investment flows. This period has also been characterized by growing inequalities in developed rich countries. So there is a they measure their poverty differently from us. So, but there is a huge increase in inequalities in the developed countries, which we have seen in the last since 2008, reflects in the median incomes of the poor going down, and quality employment growth is also negatively sort of impacted. So essentially, Trump. Therefore, the point I'm making is that Trump's politics is a consequence of these trends. What worries me slightly is that he also promised to put massive tariffs against China, 40% tariffs on Chinese imports. That is a bit worrisome, because my belief is that he won't. That was just his exaggerated kind of this thing against China, rhetoric against China before elections. So a lot of experts feel that he may not carry out that threat. But theoretically, if it did, there's a Hong Kong-based economic research firm which says that if he indeed put a 40% tariff on China, the Chinese GDP could come down by at least 3 to 4 percentage points. So if China kind of declines by that magnitude, I think we're all in it. India slowed down in the last 1 year because China was really sort of very shaky, and the Chinese markets collapsed. Chinese GDP was declining. From the current global events, vis-a-vis Trump economics, there is some worry for our IT industry, because he's very clear that he's going to change the current framework of H-1B visas, or professionals coming, Indian professionals, especially on the higher end, engineers, etc. At the lower end, of course, from Mexico, the moment he came, there's a Trump transition website, you might want to go through that, where they're talking about cancelling, there are some 1 million workers from Mexico who are in a limbo, who are in temporary jobs, whom Obama had trying to sustain, not sending them back. But Trump has decided to send them back.